Hi guys, this is Ranjit and welcome to the Tech Q&A session for number 23. And I've taken about 20 odd questions that you guys have asked me on Twitter. And yes, at the end there are some EV related questions also and some other personal questions also. So it'll be interesting. So let's get on with the same. And the first question that I got is from Hari Krishna. He is asking, let me move this. Nowadays companies offer more than 4 or 5 years of update. Sir, the hardware is lasting that much time or it's a marketing gimmick? In case of hardware is lasting or the update is killing the phone. I completely get this, Hari Krishna. I think so. You got this because of this Pixel 8 series. They are like promising 7 years of upgrade and stuff like that. And to an extent, you are correct. I really doubt that the hardware on these current smartphones would be good enough to last for 7 or 8 odd years. Yes, it might work, but again, it might get sluggish. But definitely, if it's a flagship or something like that, 4 to 5 years is perfectly acceptable, I would say. So that is okay. But stretching it to that 7 or 8 years, I'm really doubtful. And particularly with the Pixel 8, considering it's having a variant of Exynos processor, the Tensor G3, I don't know how well it'll age after 7 odd years. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Somya. Your expectation from the Orion CPU from Qualcomm. Yes, I am actually excited about this Orion CPU from Qualcomm, and this will be great for Windows ecosystem. I don't know how well it will be when it's released finally, then only we can say. But again, if Windows gets its ARM stuff right, this can be a very good competitor to the Macs with their M series of chips. So again, it will depend on Windows how well ARM works on this one. And again, this Orion CPU will also have a lot of AI capabilities which Windows is investing. So again, I feel if this is again, whatever marketing material they have published, it's very interesting. But if it even works out to about 50% of what they are claiming, there will be a very interesting thing next year, and we should have very interesting Windows-based computer with this processor. So I'm also keeping my fingers crossed about this one. Let's see how it works out, because every company hypes and markets their stuff like anything, but only when we get it, we'll know the reality. Anyways, this is my Nisar. He's asking Z Fold 5 versus the OnePlus Open. I haven't tested the OnePlus Open, so can't completely comment about it. What I liked about the OnePlus Open is that it is definitely lighter than this Fold 5. Fold 5, if I recall, is 252 grams. That is about 140 or 139 grams. So that will make a huge difference in day-to-day activities with these foldables, especially. The weight is an issue because indirectly you're having 2 slabs of phone. Also, I've heard that the crease is a little bit less on that, but again, when you're using these folds, you hardly notice that crease. I'm very glad that OnePlus has released this OnePlus Open in India also, because that will put a lot more competition on Samsung also. Right now, as of now in the foldable market, there was no big company that was actually putting a lot of competing products in and releasing them in India. So hopefully with the Z Fold 6, I would say we will have more competition in the market, and that's actually good for consumers also. As of now, I would say if I have to pick one, I might just go with the Z Fold 5 because of the reliability that Samsung has been doing this for almost 5 odd years. But I'm really looking forward to the OnePlus Open also, and what OnePlus will be doing next year. If this OnePlus Open in this first year does not have any hardware issues or something like that, then they have got a very good platform to build, and I'm really looking forward to the next generation of both these devices, the Z Fold 6 or whatever, the OnePlus Open 2 or whatever they call. So finally, we are getting some good competition in the foldable market, and that's actually really good for consumers. This is by Vinay. How much reduction you are expecting daily solar generation when winter comes in? This is regarding the solar plant that I have. Vinay, the thing is that in winters, the solar electricity generation does not go down. In fact, it increases because the solar panels, the maximum generation they do when the temperature is around 25 degrees Celsius. And in winters, it is very close to that actually in summers, actually the electricity generation goes down because the panels get very, very hot, up to 50, 45 degrees, 47 degrees Celsius. And as the temperature increases, the generation actually goes down because the solar panels actually generate the best when the ambient temperature is around 25 degrees Celsius. And at least in India, in winters, that is regarding, that's closer to that. The only area where the solar generation goes down, what I've noticed is that is during rainy season and when it's cloudy. For example, currently if it's not cloudy or anything, I generate anywhere from 28 units to 30 units per day of electricity. But when during the rainy season and when it was very, very cloudy, when it was actually too cloudy almost, I was just generating about 5-6 units per day. And when it was mixed cloudy conditions and stuff like that, it was generating just about 12 to 14 units a day. So again, the cloud cover and stuff matters. It's not the temperature. If it's a clear sky, and in fact if it's colder, then the generation will be actually a lot higher. In fact, in peak summer, the generation actually goes down. As I was telling, 28 to 30 units that I generate in peak summer, it might go down to 25, 26 units if it's a very, very hot day. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Mayank. What's the best tablet for productivity? Should I go with the new Galaxy Tab S9 Fe or the iPad 10th generation if I am getting it around the same price range? Also, is the Xiaomi Pad 6 good for content watching like Netflix, YouTube, and productivity work like note taking and casual drawing? I had used the Xiaomi Pad 6 and overall it was actually very good tablet, considering it has a pretty good Snapdragon processor, 870 if I recall, which is actually very, very good, powerful processor. The display was good. I did not do drawing with this one. So again, for that you have to check with others. But again, the folio case that it had was actually very good quality. So the Xiaomi Pad, when I tested it, it did all the things right, but I didn't test the drawing capabilities. So you have to check. I don't know why Samsung didn't send me the Galaxy Tab S9 Fe, because the pricing for a change is decent, I would say. Generally, Samsung prices their tablets very, very high. I know it's not their flagship, but again, considering what it has, and also it gets the S Pen within the bundle. So it was a good price point. Yes, I know it's the Exynos 1380, but I can't comment because I haven't used it. Again, regarding the Tab S9 Fe, I would say you get the S Pen, and the overall tablet features will be very similar to the regular Galaxy Tab S9 series. But yes, the processing, I would say, will be a lot lower because of the Exynos 1380. So if you're not a very heavy user, it will do the job. But again, if you compare it with the iPad 10th generation, definitely the iPad 10th generation processor is a lot more powerful, I would say. So that way, I would say in terms of processing power, the iPad will go ahead. But again, the problem with the iPad is that you don't get the pencil within the package. And I think so that pencil, I don't recall the exact price. It's almost 9 to 10,000. So you have to actually, if you really want to do that drawing or stuff like that, you have to buy the pencil. I would say if you're just casually just writing notes and stuff like that, even the Galaxy Tab's built-in S Pen is actually very, very good. But again, if you're a sort of artist and that minor stuff that you're doing is very, very important, maybe you do paid work, then I would lead towards the Apple Pencil with the iPad, because there are a lot of paid apps specifically for drawing that are optimized for the pencil. So that's my stuff. It's just you need the stylus just for casual stuff. The Xiaomi and even the Tab S9 will do. But again, if it's that finer stuff that you want to do, then I would leave towards to the iPad. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Manas. Why are we not seeing any Snapdragon powered phones lately overall? There's just a lot more Dimensity and Exynos rather than the Snapdragon. Okay, this is the first part of the question. As I have already also mentioned about this in the last Q&A or prior to that. Yes, specifically in the mid-range market, you're not seeing a lot of Snapdragon processor because Qualcomm actually does not have a very good mid-range processor at a decent price. They have the Snapdragon 7 Gen 2, but that is priced absurdly. That's why nobody is using it. Now the Snapdragon 778 is very, very old. If a brand uses that, everybody will like bitch about it. That's the reason you know, and again they have some of the new processor in the 480ish series and stuff like that, but again those are entry level ones. So there is a void, I would say. They have the Snapdragon 7 Gen 2, which is actually very, very good, very powerful, excellent, but again Qualcomm has been nuts in terms of pricing with that processor. That's why nobody is using. That is the reason that we are seeing a lot of Dimensity based SoCs in this mid-range market, especially from that 20,000 to even 30,000 price point. Yeah, even for like 16,000 to 25,000 price point, 27,000, you're seeing a lot of Dimensity based chipset. And of course, Samsung is using their own Exynos 1380 because it's Samsung, it's their own. Why will they pay extra royalty and stuff to, what do you say, Qualcomm? Okay, next part of the question was which TV to buy under 40,000 that'll have the best overall experience. See, with TVs, man, I'm a little bit wary of recommending new unknown brands and stuff like that. You might get it at a very good deal, but what about the after sale service and stuff like that? If the TV conks off after 1.5 years, 2 years, what will happen? So that way, in terms of TVs, I personally, if my friends ask me, and what I use myself are only TVs from reputable brands. For example, I will go with Samsung. I'm okay with I have LG TVs and Sony's. These are the top 3 that I go with. I have recommended one of Xiaomi TVs also to one of my cousins, and it's been almost 3.5 years old. It's okay. But apart from that, I am a little bit hesitant to recommend new brands of televisions, I would say. So personally, it's for me, I stick with Samsung, LG, or Sony. These are the top 3 brands. And again, yes, I know you won't get a lot of features for that price point in that brand. So if you're buying from some other new brands or something, invest in extra warranty or something, guys, because I've seen a lot of horror stories after 1 year, 1.5 or 2 years, these TVs actually having a lot of issues. They say you have to change the motherboard, and the motherboard costs so much that you have to throw the TV and buy a new one. Okay, last question. According to you, which is the best laptop brand? Personally, for me, after using so many laptops, I would say for Windows, I would say Asus is very, very good. Lenovo is excellent, I would say, and even Acer. These are the 3 that I will go. But if I have to pick the top 2, I would say Asus and Lenovo are the ones that I would go with. Acer is also good, but again, you have to check model to model what is it. And again, if you are among the Apple ecosystem, then yeah, Macs are obviously very, very good. But again, with Macs, you pay that premium. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is by Sandeep. What do you think of OnePlus Open? I feel funny to spend 1.3 lakhs on a foldable phone when you can get a flagship phone and a tab both at that price. Your thoughts? Sandeep, yes, definitely the foldables are expensive. This is the Galaxy Z Fold 5. I think so this was 1.5 lakhs and stuff like that. And I was actually having a lot more expectations with the OnePlus Open. I thought they'll price it a lot more aggressive, but they price it at 1.3 lakhs. That shows that the foldables are still very, very expensive products. And I would say the foldables are not for everyone. This is for people who do a lot of multitasking, are business users, and they need that large canvas. This I would say because I was a Z Fold 4 user. Now this is the Z Fold 5. This has actually replaced my tablet to me. So I no longer actually carry a tablet. So this is my smartphone and also a mini tablet that I can fold in my pocket and go anywhere. So this has become a powerhouse of a device. I frankly do not use the S Pen too much, though I have that cover. So if you use even that S Pen, then it becomes a very big productivity device, I would say. You can sign documents and do stuff like that. So again, this is not for everyone, but there is a certain segment of heavy users, business users, who don't want to carry multiple devices. They want one devices. Only one device that they can put in pocket and does the job. It's for those. And if you're that kind of a person, as of now, yes, these foldables are the one to go. But again, they command that significant premium. People ask me, this is expensive. I'm just thinking in my mind, if and when Apple releases a foldable device, they'll call it super revolutionary or a very fancy name or to whatever. And I won't be surprised if they launched it at 2 lakhs or more like that. See, I'm just waiting when Apple launches a foldable device. This is by SM. Planning to upgrade my 7-year-old Nikon D7200 DSLR. Oh, that was a good one. Any suggestion for hybrid shooting? I'm not a professional photographer. SM, I would say, as you're saying hybrid, so video functionality is also important to you. Then I would say I would lean towards the Sony. I was a Canon user. I had so many Canon DSLRs throughout the year. I had 5 or 6 and all the lenses and everything, the whole kit in Shimam. But now recently I have moved to Sony from the past 2 years. The only reason is that Canon was acting like Apple, man. Simple as that. Just to add one feature or something, you had to the actual camera that I really wanted, that did good video and photography with Canon with all the features I wanted, costed almost 4.5 lakhs. I could get the same stuff in Sony for 2.5. So I have now moved to Sony, and I am mostly into video. I still love the out of the box video quality that you get with Canon. To be very frank, it is slightly better than the Sony. On the Sony, I have to do a little bit of color grading. On the Canon, I never had to do that. With the Canon, I could just shoot and just upload that video. Here, I have to play a little bit with colors, because the colors for Sony are still a little bit weird. But overall, the kind of power and functionality that Sony gives for the price, I would say it's still very, very good. The only thing I don't like about Sony is the Sony native lenses are very, very expensive. They just rip you apart. So in fact, I'm not using Sony lenses. This is, for example, what I'm using is a Tamron lens. I have one more Sony DSLR. That's the new one. This is the older one. This is the A7 III. A7 IV is the one that I have. And there also I'm using a Tamron lens. And it's been working very, very well. So that's my suggestion, I would say. Anyways, this is next question. I am Rajit. He says, what are your thoughts on the Pixel 8 Pro? Is it still a good choice over the S23 Ultra? Because in sale, both phones available around the 1 lakh price point. Main priority is the camera, particularly ultra wide and zoom. So what should you pick, the S23 Ultra or the 8 Pro? Okay, this is a very tough one. I would say I have used the 8 Pro. This is the Pixel 8. And don't get me wrong, the Pixel 8 Pro is a great device. But as of now in India, you can get the S23 Ultra at the same price point. And I would say in the long term, if I look at the long term, then the S23 Ultra just makes more sense. If only the 8 Pro didn't have the Tensor G3, but the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, I would have recommended the Pixel 8 Pro. But yes, the Tensor G3 is not as bad as the Tensor G2, but it still actually heats up a little bit. And if you're a heavy gamer or something like that, it's simply not for you. So I feel there are quite a bit of compromise. And as I've told you, you are really concentrating on the zoom. So that S23 Ultra, it has a native 10x zoom without any optical zoom. So I feel in zooms, again, the S23 will go ahead. And in photographs also, regular photographs, yes, the S23 Ultra takes very good photographs. I would say in shutter speed, the Pixel is better. But sometimes in the S23 Ultra, S23, I don't know, this is a bug. You keep shooting, sometimes the shutter button gets stuck and you have to close the app and just open it up and it starts working. So that bug is there. But apart from that, again, I would say overall, the S23 Ultra is a better device and it'll age a lot better just because of the processor, man. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 is definitely a far better processor than the Tensor G3 blunt. So yeah, if I have to pick just two and I don't want to change the phone for next 3-4 years, my pick would be the S23 Ultra. Anyways, moving to the next one. This is a solar panel installation stuff from you asked by Rohit. So yes, I have a solar plant, on-grid plant. I also have off-grid plant. So if you guys are really interested about it, I don't know how many of you are. If you guys are interested, I can make a different dedicated video about it, because that can get a little bit complex. We can't complete all those points and just this Q&A. Let me know if you guys are interested. I'll try to make a dedicated video. Okay, this is by Virender. I want to buy a TV for PS5 gaming and OTT room. The room size is 20 by 10 feet. Oh, that's a decent size room. I'm planning to buy the LG QNED 81. I'm a little bit confused. Again, if you are specifically looking for a TV with gaming, especially the PS5 and the new Xbox, both support that 120 FPS with 4K gaming. So you can go. The latest LG QNED does support 4K at 120 FPS. In fact, I had posted one of the videos about 2 months ago. I had got a review on it from LG. It went back. Yes, so it does support. So that way it is good for gaming. You can go with it. And again, only thing is that with the LG, just make sure the panel that you get, the quality of the panel is okay and it does not have any light bleeding. So don't open it up yourself. Let the LG guys come and install it. So, and if you notice any light bleeding or something like that, get it replaced. But apart from that, it was actually a good TV, I would say. You can also go with the Samsung QLED, but again, I feel the Samsung QLED's pricing will be a little bit more significant compared to the LG QNED. Samsung is charging that premium over the LG QNED. Anyways, moving to the next one. Okay, let's have a look at this. This is by Abel. He's asking, hi sir, did Apple Silicon really change the laptop market? Is it worth to buy the Apple Silicon for long term, 7 years plus, instead of Intel or AMD? Yes, I definitely feel Apple had actually changed the laptop market with the M1 chip. In fact, I still have the my MacBook Air, that is the Apple M1 chip, and still it is working phenomenally. It's what, almost 2.5, 3 years old now. So yes, it definitely changed the market, I would say. And now finally with the others, Windows is realizing they need a very good ARM chip. Hopefully Qualcomm with the new chip brings something to the table in 2024. My current laptop that I'm using for editing, etc., is also the MacBook Pro 16 that is having the M1 Pro that I have purchased about 2 odd years ago, something like that. And it's working very well, and I don't think so I'll change. I might need to change in the next 2 or 3 years. So definitely for 5-ish years, if you're buying a new one right now, the M3 has come. If you're buying a new M3, easily for next 4 or 5 years it should last, but I doubt 7 odd years. We don't know, we can't predict what will be the state of the software, etc., after 7 odd years. But as of now, yes, the Apple M series chips are fabulous, I would say. I have got some latest Intel based laptops also with the 14th generation, and they just can't stand a candle in front of the Apple M series chips laptops as of now. I hope the situation changes next year. Definitely want competition from Windows, and I hope the Orion chip, what Qualcomm is touting about, changes that. This is by Namish. What are your thoughts about the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, which will be rolling in 2024 flagship? Also, why did any other smartphone brand didn't use the Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 2, even though it's a very good 7 Plus Gen 2? As I've told you, it's just because of the pricing. It's a very good processor, but Qualcomm got us very stupid pricing. That's the reason. I hope the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, on paper, it looks very, very promising. I just hope that translates into real world performance and it does not have any heating issues. Yes, so I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. Yes, we will be seeing in a lot of flagships. In fact, I don't know, Xiaomi might, if they release the 14 series very soon, we might get the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 smartphone this year itself. But again, that will be coming obviously in a lot of flagships in next year. Okay, moving to the next one. This is by Krish. Sir, are we going to get the S23 Fe review? And it's a word to buy. Would like to know your take on camera battery life of S23 Fe. Guys, I had actually got the review unit of the S23 Fe. This is the one, but I didn't even open it. The reason for that is that I simply did not like the pricing of the Galaxy S23 Fe. They had launched it for 60,000 rupees. If only they would have launched it for around 50,000, and with some card offers or something, it would have come down to 45,000. Then this smartphone would have made a lot of sense. But now, at the current price point, it simply does not make any sense at that 60,000, because you can get the regular Galaxy S23 for around 63 to 64,000 if you use the correct cards and whatever and haggle a little bit. And that's a far superior smartphone compared to the S23 Fe. That's a simple fact. So maybe this might be a good phone if it was priced around 45,000, because it's having the Exynos 2200, and we know the Exynos 2200, though it's a decent processor, but again, it can't hold a candle even to the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 plus 1. Forget about competing with the current flagship. So that's the reason I did not cover it. If the pricing comes down to 45,000 or something like that, then I'll do it. Guys, lately you notice I am just cutting down on the number of devices that I'm covering. I just don't want to cover average or sub overhyped products that don't offer value. I'm just posting 4 or 5 videos in a month, and those videos that if I'm spending time on a product to test it out, I just want to put my time on products that really make sense. I just don't want to review or post videos about Tom, Dick and Harry products that are just average products that simply do not make sense. So that's the reason. This is by Pradeep Reddy. He's asking, I hope you're doing well. Have you tried or currently using any of the air fiber, that is Geo Air Fiber or Airtel Air, whatever they call it? How is your experience with it? I'm planning to take any of it. What are your thoughts on it? I had applied for the Geo Air Fiber. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I tweeted about it. And Geo had even charged 100 rupees as whatever. But still, till date, they haven't got back to me regarding the installation. So I don't know what is wrong with the Geo. They hyped it so much, they have launched it and stuff like that, but still I couldn't get the installation done. So I don't know, guys. I'm also looking forward to it. Wanted to use it as my backup connection, but still it's not done. Anyways, this is by Mr. Singhji. What are your thoughts on the resale of EVs? Can we get a good resale value when we sell it after 3 or 4 years, or will it just be sold at scrap value? So I'm going to take a bunch of EV related questions. So this is the first one regarding the resale of EVs. How he wants to sell it after 3 or 4 years. Singhji, the first thing I wanted to give you an idea. You should not buy an EV if you plan to sell it within 3 or 4 years. The simple reason is that if you're buying an EV car, you're going to pay a significant premium compared to a conventional ICE engine. You'll be paying anywhere from about 3 to 5 lakhs extra based on the model. If it's a regular compared to a regular model of a EV will cost anywhere from 3 to 5 lakhs extra depending on the model of the car. So you are definitely paying that extra premium of, let's say, 3 or 4 lakhs extra for an EV. And let's say you drive your vehicle every year. You drive a lot. Let's say you drive about 15,000 kilometers in a year, and let's say you replaced it from your petrol car. Your petrol car running cost was 10 rupees per kilometer. So you're driving at 15,000 kilometers a year. So you're saving what? 1,50,000. Let's say you drove it for 3 years. So you have saved what? 1,50,000 into 3, that is 4,50,000. Okay, or even just after 4 years, that you have saved about 6 lakhs rupees. But if you, so your the extra saving that you will do with your EV only starts after about 3 or 4 years. And if you plan to sell your EV after 3 or 4 years, what is the point about it? Okay, you should buy an EV if you're planning to keep that EV for 8 to 10 years. And I've already mentioned about the batteries of EVs. If your EV is using an LFP battery, you don't have to worry about it. It will last for 12 to 15 years easily. Okay. But again, if you are planning to buy an EV and plan to just use it for 3 or 4 years, you should not buy an EV. Because the advantage of EV, the savings that you'll start doing will only start typically after 3 or 4 years. Right now, people don't understand a lot about the EV batteries. They think that will go bad after 7 or 8 years. But most of the new car manufacturers in India are going with the LFP batteries. And these LFP batteries have a lot longer lifespan. Eventually, people will realize about it. Right now, there are a lot of misconceptions. So I hope this gives you a idea. But again, if you're planning to buy an EV and just want to sell it after 3 odd years or something like that, it simply does not make sense. Okay, moving to the next one. This is by Prashant. How do you see EV two-wheelers market shaping up? I have the Ola S1 Pro, happy with the scooter, but after-sale service is not up to the mark, because of which I am starting to thinking of selling it. The EV two-wheeler segment has exploded like that, and we see a lot of new players. For example, Ola was one of them. Right now, I would say among the two-wheeler EVs, the only one that I like is Ather. I think so. Those guys are there for the long term, so they are not doing the shortcuts and stuff like that. I have asked some Ather people who have used Ather, and they are happy with it. But others are hanky-panky, I would say. But this situation will change, because Honda and other big two-wheeler manufacturers are now seriously going to get in the EV two-wheeler market. So hopefully the after-sale service and all those aspects will also change. And that will actually again shake up the EV two-wheeler market, I would say. This is by Sandeep. This is a Pixel related question. He says, bought the Pixel 8 for my wife. She didn't like the camera quality at all. She says the photo looked dull and unsaturated for me. I should have bought Vivo, Oppo, Xiaomi phone which are social media ready for her. What's your opinion? Yes, Pixel 8, I would say Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro both. Actually, the photographs that they take are very close to the reality, natural. But these days, I would say people like, oversaturated pictures, touch-up photographs and stuff like that. And on that segment, definitely, I would say, even Samsung actually oversaturates the pictures. It makes the colors pop and stuff like that. Pixel actually does not do that by default. Yes, of course. And many people like auto beautification features when they take selfies and stuff like that. In that aspect, I would say the Oppo and the Vivos are the masters. They will change your skin tone and all those things. They'll remove some patches also and stuff like that automatically. So if that kind of a person, if a person is looking for that kind of a feature, then definitely the Oppo and the Vivos will be better. But again, Pixel and even the iPhones and stuff like that are better for people who want reality, pictures that are very close to the reality. Yes, you can obviously edit these pictures, but out of the box, the pictures that they will produce are very close to reality. I hope that answers your question. This is by Pushkar. He's asking, hey Ranjit, curious about your recent investment choices. Could you share some insights about your stock portfolio and SIP? I'm sure perspective will be valuable. Pushkar, I am a very lazy investor, man. I don't care about daily movements and stuff like that. Whenever I pick up stocks, I have been investing in mutual funds for over 20 years, I would say. Recently, in the last 4-5 years, I've actually started picking up some stocks also. My picking up of stocks is very simple. I look at a company and I think to myself, will this company stay in business for the next 5 to 10 years? And if I get a good conviction, then only I'll buy it. I don't care about the daily up and jumping of the stock or whatever. I'm not a trader or something like that. So I'm a very lazy investor. I'll invest in companies which I have used the products or something, and I think they will last for next 10 years. If they're going to last for the next 10 years, they'll definitely add value. That is how I go about it. So I consider myself a very lazy investor. Anyways, this is the last question. This is by Alan. He's asking, hey Ranjit, as you are an influencer, I wish you could speak on the social status thing with the iPhones. As youth are regularly wasting their hard-earned money through EMIs and suffering a lot to pay. I feel like you are a family member, even one can realize by your words. Yes, Alan, I have actually made a video about this about 3 years ago. A lot of youngsters and even other people are buying very high-end phones like iPhones or even other flagships, etc. on EMIs. And that is a very, very sad thing. You should never buy a smartphone on an EMI. If you are not able to buy the smartphone on the full price, the simple answer is this smartphone is not for you, because the reality is you cannot afford it. If you're not able to buy a particular smartphone, whatever it might be the Pixel, it might be iPhone, whatever it is, at the full price point without getting any hiccups, that smartphone is not for you, because this is a depreciating asset. Okay, and buying it on EMI, man, instead of buying this stuff that will go bad and within 2 years or maximum 2.5 years, invest that EMI in something worthwhile. But buying stuff like iPhones or expensive smartphones on EMI is the most stupid thing you can do for your future. That's a blunt answer. I personally will never buy an expensive phone, whatever it is, if I'm not comfortable paying the full price of the smartphone. Think about that. If you are very comfortable buying the smartphone at the full price, then you can afford it. Otherwise, you simply cannot afford it. Anyways, guys, that's it for now for this tech Q&A session. And guys, if you're still not subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. This is Ranjit, and I hope to see you at my next video. Take care, guys.